Alright. Hello, Sean here, and in this video I want to talk to you today about how when we face the areas of shame, of guilt, and screw up in our life, we start to experience God's abundance and blessings in miraculous way. To be more specifically, in this video I want to make a bold promise right out in public, out of faith. That is, as of this time of this video being recorded, I am massively in debt. I have about $65,000 of bad debt, and let me assure you, it's not good debt, it's not an investment. It's actually probably the worst kind of debt you can have. About $40,000 in credit card debts, line of credit, and about $20-something thousand for a diploma from a college that I never actually used. So basically it's about $65,000 student loan and also a lot of credit card debt that I've accumulated over the years. But you know what? God has put a promise in my heart that this year, in 2014, I'm coming out of debt. And not just that, not only I'm coming out of debt, I'm going above and beyond, exceedingly above and beyond. That I will be able to be a blessing to others. Not just for myself, not just because I'm going to enjoy traveling, not just because I'm going to create far better quality of videos, websites, books, but because I will be able to be blessings, inspiring to other people. So out of faith, out of boldness, I decided I'm just going to come sit here and I'm going to make this video. And I'm going to let you know, if you're watching this video, that if God could bless me with such a boldness, with such a promise in my heart, and then in a few months from now you're going to see me that actually this has happened, that actually the stuff that I said He did come true, then you will realize the gift and the boldness and the juice that comes when we align ourselves to the truth, when we face areas of our lives, when we say yes to freedom, of letting go of our addictions, and the miracles that come as a result of that. You know, a few months ago I attended a seminar. It was a very amazing seminar. There was a lot of speakers, there were a lot of good people, successful people, but I came out of that seminar home and I was depressed. Not because I did a crappy job of speaking, not because I didn't get what I wanted, but because I knew down in here that I'm not living my life to my full potential. I've been already working for, a few years for myself. I've been already publishing a few books and things like that, but I just felt like my message is not getting out across. I realized that I'm still not living my life fully to what God has put in my heart. I'm not being an incredible blessing that God wants me to be to other people. And then I asked myself, what is it? I remember I sat down and I was very sad. If I remember correctly, I was even crying to some point. I was like, God, what is it? What is it that I need to do? And you know what the answer came? The answer was already there. And the answer that came to me was that you need to let go of your addictions. And here's me, I already have all these websites about letting go of addictions and I'm supposed to be this guru of addiction. But I realized that it was all a bunch of bullshit and I was actually lying to myself. I was deceiving myself. And the truth is, I was still addicted. Now you gotta try to understand, by this time I've been about 6 or 7 years drug-free from the drugs that I used to do, like cocaine, ecstasy, and other stuff, like GHB. But the truth is, every once in a while, I would sneak in behind the back doors. I would sneak into the medical doctors and I would get some prescription drugs for various different things that I didn't have anymore, like ADHD. And I would actually drug myself and I would watch porn, and then I would basically try to go back to my normal life, work out even harder. So I would go through these cycles of binge doing drugs and watching porn, and then working really hard to try to make up for it. But after this event, I came home and I realized that this has to go. This led me to realization of the 12 steps. Now, I come to learn that the answer that we know what we need to do in our life is already there. It's not something we think, it's something that's already here in our heart. So the answer was already there. It was like a silence saying, you need to do the 12 steps. You need to do the 12 steps. You need to do the 12 steps. But let me tell you, I've already done the 12 steps a few years ago, but I only did half the way. I thought, well, this is not going to work. What is this? What is this supposed to mean? Step 1, we come to admit that we are powerless over our addiction. What is this powerless stuff? it sounded like it's so hopeless. It sounded so weakening. It sounded like something that against what I've been studying. In my self-development, I've been learning to try to rely on yourself, on your self-control, believe in yourself, trust yourself, right? Ralph Emerson has a great saying, trust thyself. What are you talking about? Admit that you're powerless over addiction. This doesn't seem like a very good, this doesn't seem very inspiring to me, so I put it aside. But you know what? Sometimes we actually put aside the biggest jewels in our life. We sometimes oversee the exact thing that we need, and that's exactly why we suffer, and I suffer. But after I came from this seminar, I heard in my heart, God said, do the 12 step. I started 12 step, and I already started to experience incredible blessings in my life. I started to experience what it's like to actually be free from addiction from pornography. I started to instantly let go of all those temptations to do drugs, to sleep around with girls that I didn't care for, to stop being a prisoner to my dick, basically. So as a result of that, I started to feel that I have this sense of joy and confidence. All of a sudden, being alone on a Friday night didn't seem like such a shameful and sad thing to be. All of a sudden, a Saturday night, being in a coffee shop, working on my business, seemed like it's actually a joyful thing to do. It wasn't like, oh, poor me, see, I'm working so hard and I'm being depressed and one day I'm gonna get rich. No, it was like, wow, I'm so grateful that I'm not where I used to be, in bars, drunk, half retarded and spending money. And actually now I'm working on creating value for other people to be a benefit to others. Now, I'm still working on this process, and I decided to make this video before I hit what God has put in my heart, the promise of God, the financial freedom, the being a multi-millionaire and billionaire and being a blessing to others. So I decided to make this video now to be an evidence to all those who are gonna see this video in years to come, to all those who are gonna see my videos on TED, on newspapers, on Oprah Winfrey, on Tony Robbins' show, and they're gonna see that this video was created end of August 2014. Mark my word. What God has promised in my heart is coming to pass. In my heart it says in 2014, I've already taken action to start getting out of debt. I wrote a letter to all my creditors as part of step 9 of the 12 steps. I've contacted all those people that I've caused hurt, past girlfriends, past relationships. I asked for apologies, and I'm willing to face the consequences, whatever that may be. I'm going to be paying some of the wrongs that I've done. And you know what? God has promised in my heart that by acting boldly, I'm going to be not only debt-free, I'm going to be a blessing to others. And hopefully when you watch these videos, whenever it is, maybe you watch this year, maybe you watch it next year, maybe you watch it years from now, you will know that if God could bless me, He could also bless you. So I hope this video was inspiration to you. If you're addicted and you're struggling with some kind of addiction, or if you've already been praying to God and you're keeping faith, you're even making donations, but you're not seeing the changes that you want to see, I invite you to 2 things. One is to keep doing it. Is to don't give up. You could be exactly 1 step beyond. Today could be the day that you're going to get out of debt. Today could be the day that you're going to meet that amazing relationship, that beautiful romantic divine romance. Today could be the day that you're going to come up with that idea that's going to turn everything around. That's the first thing. The other thing I say is, through prayer, ask God to show you through self-honesty what do you need to face. Just like when I came after that event and I went home and I was depressed because I realized that I need to let go of my addictions, and then I started the 12-step program and now I'm free from addictions. Just in the same way, you gotta ask yourself, what is the one thing that you are doing that you don't even want to notice? What's the one thing that you don't want to admit to anyone else in the world? Are you drinking every now and then, every other day having a glass of wine and you think it's not a big deal? Well, let me tell you, it is a big deal. If you're drinking because you think your happiness depends on that, no, your happiness depends on God. Your happiness comes from your heart, of your connection to the source of what we are. And if your happiness comes from sleeping around, having sex, superficial fun, getting a blowjob, all that crap, they all gotta go. I'm not saying having sex is bad. I'm just saying having sex with the wrong people, with the wrong intentions, for a selfish reason to feel good is actually a block to actualizing, to realizing the juice of God, the juice of the joy of knowing our Creator in our heart. Now, I'm not talking about the idea of God as some superficial old man sitting on the clouds. No. And very well may be so. Maybe there is a God in the cloud. I don't know. But what I do know is that God is real. And God is the most powerful thing. Is the creator of heaven and earth. I know I didn't create myself. I know that there is something beyond me that created me. And when I align myself to the truth of that creator, I experience blessings. I know it's been happening in my life. I know it's been happening in Joel Osteen's life. I know it's been happening in my friend Bryce's life, Eben Pagan's life, Tony Robbins' life, Brian Tracy's life, Oprah Winfrey's life, and I know it can happen in your life. So I hope you found this video useful, inspirational, and thank you for watching. And I look forward having more videos as such, and I look forward seeing you also reach your goals and dreams yet to come. And remember, our best years are yet to come. Start each day with joy and optimism, hope, faith, trust, morning routine, giving, love, patience, persistent, empowerment, encouragement, and joy. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.